Yo, so I said yesterday that I would be talking about sauces. I know, weird subject, but it's going somewhere. All right, so first one, the main thing that gave me the idea to talk about this. This is Ben's Original Sweet and Sour No Added Sugar. It has 5.4 grams of carbs per 100 grams, and there's 440 grams in a jar. I estimate the two portions I've used must have been a third of the jar each. So that's what? The bill had been about close to 8 grams of carbs per portion used. And to say that that was with just pork, spring onions, mushrooms, and did I steam some broccoli on the side? I don't quite remember. Either way, that's all I used it for, just sweet and sour pork. So this was the only thing really adding a significant amount of carbs to the food. So, you know, not so bad considering it was a full square meal. But it gave me the idea to go and find some other sauces in the shops that were low in carbs, and found a surprising few. This is tahini. I have never used this for anything before. I have no idea what to use this for, but it's got 2.2 grams of carbs per 100 because it's basically just sesame seed paste and not much else. So the challenge is I'm going to see if I can find an interesting recipe for something I've not really had before and work this into it, because I am sort of getting bored of eating some of the same stuff over and over, and I need to broaden my horizons food-wise while staying on track with the weight loss. Another one I found was this chipotle paste. So this being 6.5 grams of carbs per 100 grams, but you use way smaller amounts of this because it's so concentrated. So once again, this is another thing I'll be looking at. Actually, going to tie in the final item on this list. But first of all, I got this pizza sauce. As a lot of you know, I've gone over a lot of low-carb recipes online, and some of you may also remember I finally found one I particularly enjoyed. This one has 7.9 grams of carbs per 100 grams, and I estimate each time I'd be using about, well, it's 350 grams per jar, so if I try and use, say, a third of it per pizza, it's going to be about 117, close to 120 grams worth, which would mean, let's see, effectively 9.6 grams of carbs being added to the whole pizza. But again, the Black Tie Kitchen pizza is so filling, I'll eat it in 3 sittings. And because I'm using an almond flour with a lower carb count than the one he was using, it should even out pretty nicely. It does bear mentioning that the tin tomatoes I was using for the pizza sauce I made was about 3.7 grams of carbs per 100 grams. But then remember, to that I add like onions and a few other things that will increase the carb count. So I don't think this one's that much worse. One of the ingredients in it that interested me was carrot puree. I haven't eaten carrots since starting keto because there's quite a lot of sugar in them, relative to other food at least. So should be interesting. I have no idea how this stuff tastes, but I'll be finding out the hard way in a couple of days when I make my next pizza. Also bought a second jar because they were either $3.49 a jar in Morrison's or $3.50 for 2. I felt like I was ripping myself off by not paying a penny for a second one. But then the final thing, at least out of what I picked up, mayonnaise. Underrated stuff, this. Justice for Dawn, by the way. It's 1.4 grams of carbs per 100 grams, at least when you buy the full fat stuff. You can buy like light reduced fat mayonnaise that is 6 or 7 grams of carbs per 100. So, you know, they quadruple the carb count to make it healthier. But the thing with mayonnaise is it's so versatile. I could add some of that hot sauce I was having with that kebab last night and make like a spicy mayonnaise. I could probably put a bit of this chipotle in it and basically make chipotle mayo without significantly increasing its carb count. When I've made fried chicken a few times now, I've just taken a bit of the leftover spice mix and mixed in it a big ass splodge of mayo. So, final thing I want to address. None of my nutritional filibustering should be taken all that seriously. Like, please do not actually take it as advice. This is what's working for me right now. If you are ever considering doing low carb or keto or what have you, I recommend doing better research than watching some random loser on YouTube vlog about being on keto. Definitely like find some videos on how to get started on it. I can explain the principles of just high fat, low carb, middle in protein, but even then it's a bit more complicated than that. You got to be able to carefully scrutinize the nutritional profile of everything you eat, and I'm pedantic enough that I can, but not everybody is. this diet is not for everyone. It does get harshly criticized by a lot of other dietitians, and with good reason. It can be quite a complicated one to follow. In my opinion, it is worth the effort, but to some it may not be. So as I say, I know I always come off as though to be flat out endorsing keto as something everyone should be doing. I don't know if that's really the message I want to send. It's safe to say I've definitely started to drink the carbs are bad for you Kool-Aid. It doesn't stop me craving a lot of high carb food. I am currently nearly halfway through Couch to 5K. I ended up taking about a week of not being able to do it because of work, but I'm well back on track with it now. It may well hit a point where I start eating carbs again, because the carbs just give me that energy boost to run really, really long distances. And the calorie deficit I'll create by running will allow me to eat a bit more, well, a little more recklessly, for want of a better word. As I say, it's the place I was in 6 or 7 years ago before I got the injury that made me put all this weight back on. And it's an easy enough trap to fall into. But again, I don't think I want to say everyone should be on keto. In fact, I've already mentioned some people would die if they went on keto. People who are type 1 diabetic, they basically just dissolve from the inside if they go into ketosis. So make of that what you will. But again, I'm not a dietitian. I'm doing what works for me right now. And holy crap, it is working. It's getting results, and I'm having a wonderful time with it. So take that away with you, and I'll see you soon.